You know, you can catch Pro Football Talk, the Dan Patrick Show, the Rich Eisen Show, and Brother from Another, all streaming every day on Peacock. The coverage continues from L.A. right now with the debut of Sunday Night Football Final only on Peacock.
A joyous debut for Matthew Stafford. He throws for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Rams handle the Bears. We're going to break it all down for you next on Sunday Night Football Final, which begins right now. Hey, everybody. First Sunday of the NFL season in the books as we welcome you into Sunday Night Football Final with Chris Sims. I'm Catherine Tappan. You doing okay, Chris?
I'm good.
Ready to break this all down?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here's what's coming up next. Rodney loved the play from Chandler Jones. We're going to talk to him about, who wouldn't have loved the play, by the way? We're going to get to the highlights of this game and talk about Chandler Jones, who tied a franchise record for the most sacks in a single game. Sorry, Ryan Tannehill on that one. Plus, rookie quarterbacks. There were a lot of them making their debut.
Good. We saw some mixed bags there. It's not always easy as a rookie week one in the NFL season.
Don't give it all away. We're going to talk about it later on the show. First, the highlights from the first Sunday Night Football game of the season. And the first start as a Chicago Bear for Andy Dalton, the former Cowboy and Bengal. First drive of the game. David Montgomery runs for a huge 41-yard gain.
Great vision, great job getting back to the cutback lane. And for a big guy, when Montgomery gets out in the open, he's got some speed to break off some long runs.
Rookie Justin Fields comes in for a snap 2 plays later. Fields' 11th overall pick out of Ohio State in April, and he completes his first NFL pass.
Yeah, keeping the Rams defense on edge. You don't know what the Justin Fields package is going to be all about.
Very next play, back in Andy Dalton. He's intercepted by David Long Jr.
Oh, this is going to hurt them. They needed some early momentum for the Andy Dalton offense. Matt Nagy, big play by the Rams defense.
Matthew Stafford on the other side, meanwhile, making his Rams debut. Unbelievable here. Uncorks one to Van Jefferson, 67-yard touchdown. And he's off and running.
That's why everybody's so excited, Tap, about Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. We know McVay's an offensive genius, but now he's got a guy with Matt Stafford's type of arm to stretch the field. He couldn't do these things in the past with Jared Goff.
First touchdown as a Rams, second-year man out of Florida for Jefferson, and the two connect nicely right before the half. Bears get on the board. It's Montgomery stuffing it in for the 3-yard touchdown.
Yeah, Rams were blowing him out early. Had a chance to blow him out. Let him hang around, and Montgomery makes a big run there, and you're going 13-7. Okay, the Bears are hanging on.
Not for long.
Nope.
First drive of the second half, Stafford finds Cooper Kupp a 56-yard touchdown.
Yes, obviously a coverage breakdown right here, but really more of what it was the perfect play call against the perfect defense. I do believe number 23's got to continue to carry Cooper Kupp there. But again, Stafford's big arm is going to open this offense up for the Rams.
Ensuing drive, Chicago knocking on the door. Fields comes back in, fakes the give and go, runs it in. That's a 3-yard touchdown. And look out, here come the Bears.
Wait, first off, look at how excited the team is for him. I don't know, that just says something to me, but that's what Justin Fields is going to bring to this Bears offense.
First career touchdown for him, but the Bears couldn't stop the Rams offense. Stafford to Kupp again. Well, the touchdown initially, but wait a second, was his knee down, Chris?
Yeah, it was. Just a good call by the referees. They got it right ultimately. And what led to an easy touchdown for Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers' backup, taking over him in his injury. But yes, the Rams offense with what Stafford could do, not only the play action pass game, but the drop back pass game, very impressive.
Yeah, Akers tore that Achilles over the summer. Following Bears possession, reigning defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald makes his presence felt.
He was not felt a whole lot tonight, but this was certainly one of those moments. When he gets one-on-ones, he's scary. And he's going to be mad tomorrow that he didn't get the sack and that Hollins did. But either way, he messed the play up.
Yeah, defensive player of the year in 3 of the last 4 seasons. He's going to make you feel that way. Stafford to Kupp again. These two had chemistry. 15-yard gain here.
3rd and 13, Tap, here. 3rd and 13, just an unbelievable play. And really, that play took the soul out of the Bears defense, which ultimately led to this 3rd and goal. What a nice throw, safe up high in the back of the end zone. And Robert Woods, the footwork, the feet work, whatever the hell you want to call it, they both got in.
You've been talking all day. You're allowed. A great play there. The Rams have won 5 straight openers. Stafford wins in his Rams debut. Of these numbers, Chris, what stands out to you most?
Well, I think of course, the efficiency of 20 to 26 completions, but I think it's the 321 yards. We used to see these type of numbers in the past with the Rams offense, 20 of 26, and it might have been 220 yards, 210 yards, with Jared Goff. Stafford, they're going to be way more explosive.
All right, well, we are here in studio. We've got presentation out in Los Angeles as well. So we welcome in Jack Collinsworth and Rodney Harrison, guys. And, oh, they've got a special guest, Jack. Who you got?
We sure do, Tap. I'm thinking about moving into SoFi Stadium. This place has been unbelievable. And how about Jalen Ramsey? We knew this guy was a good player for a long time.
Wait, you said a good player?
But this was a whole nother level, Jalen Ramsey, and we've seen it all from this guy. What'd you think from him tonight, Rod?
I thought he was awesome. I thought Raheem Morris did a great job of moving him around, playing him on the outside, playing him on the inside. He got a couple tackle for losses. Man, where you get that mean streak from? Because you just a dog. You ain't no cornerback, dog. You a safety.
Hey, man, I'm blessed, man. You know, God has blessed me with so much, man, with so much talent. And so me just honoring him is just going and working hard, developing my skill, you know, trying to be a leader to my teammates. And Coach, he's utilizing me in ways I've never been utilized before, you know, so I'm just out there having an extremely fun time, honestly.
First time inside this packed house here at SoFi. What was the feeling walking out?
Oh, it was electric. Oh, yeah, it was nice in here. Last year was a little different, a little weird, you know what I mean? I feel like we still played well, but this year with the energy in the crowd, like we feed off of that. So I'm excited, you know, for the rest of our home games, too, for them to show up and show out.
Man, you look at Matthew Stafford. What does he give
Big
you?
Nine did his thing today, didn't he?
Big plays down the field. What does he bring to this team?
Oh, man, just one of the best leaders I ever been around. Like, he controls and has a command of that offense like I've never seen before. Him and Sean, they got their little thing. They doing it together, and, man, you see him connecting on deep passes, no-look passes. His ball placement is crazy, just where he's putting it for the receiver to catch it and only the receiver to be able to catch it. So he's doing things like that challenges us in practice to be the best. And we like to think that we're the best in the game, so we like to feel like we challenging him as well. And we hope it is working like that.
Amen.
Coach Staley heads over to coach the Chargers on the other side of L.A. What's different about your role in this defense this year? How are they moving you around? What feels different from your perspective?
I'm just I guess trying to be utilized so where teams can't shy away from me as much, so I can get in a little action, so I can get in some run fits, make some TFLs, be on the perimeter, control the perimeter a little bit. And then also I'm still getting out on the edge. That's where I love to be. So I'm having fun doing all of that, honestly, and they just utilizing me. They see that my value is there. So why minimize it? Why pigeonhole me to one thing when I can do so much? So
Brother, we're going to take a look at some of the plays that you made.
Let's do it.
And I just thought you was outstanding. You look like a linebacker playing corner. You look like a safety. Talk to me about this play right here.
Man, it was fourth and short. You know, I knew they were going to try to go to A-Rob. He's a great player, heck of a player. He was my teammate at one point, and I just kind of sat on the route and read the quarterback eyes and then just made
But it's a 4th and 4. Were you surprised that he tried you like that on a 4th and 4?
I am, but, you know, this is football, and anything can happen.
What was your favorite play of yours tonight? I'm thinking back to the one where they kind of did the reverse right at you. You stayed up, came all the way up, made the play in the backfield. What was your favorite play of yours throughout this game?
My favorite play of mine, I don't know. I got to watch the film. Maybe the play that was just up, the tackle on the tight end, kind of in open space. That's a really tough tackle that most people wouldn't understand, but I was able to stand them up, and my teammates was able to rally and come help me secure that tackle, either that one or the bubble play.
Now, you and Aaron Donald get most of all the attention, but tell me about, or give me one player on your defense that a lot of people don't know about that's going to be that guy.
One.
Give me one, give me 3, give me 4, give me some.
I'm going to go with my DBs. I'm going to go with Jordan Fuller, D-Will, D-Lo. They balling. D-Lo, he came and D-Lo had his pick today.
Okay,
You know, in the secondary, me and D-Will, we kind of made our name for ourselves in the league a little bit, and D-Lo, not too many people knew about him. We very confident in him. Obviously, he was out here today on that first drive when they drove it down here on us. He turned it up. They got a turnover. He got an interception. However it happened, he popped the year off for us. Super happy for him. And Jordan Fuller, man, he got the green dot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He out there calling plays. That's something tough to do from the safety spot. You got to kind of control and have a command of the whole defense. He's doing a great job only in year 2 doing that. You know what I mean? And then you got Taylor Rapp, who just disruptive in all phases. And the communication from our safeties down to everybody else is just great, honestly. And I'm just talking about the secondary right now because they're my guys, but I can really talk about the whole defense.
Jalen, just take me inside that locker room. Coach McVay, now you have Stafford in the building, yourself, AD, Mr. Donald, all these guys. What's the vibe inside that building? It looks special from a distance,
right? We got some personalities in there, but it all clicks and it all gels. Everybody is able to be themselves. where, you know, it's not like that in some places.
Yeah.
It's a vibe, you know. It's just a good energy, a good vibe that we have around there. Everybody is serious about ball, but when we're not playing football, we can interact and we can have good times. But when it's time to work, we're going to work as well. Everybody got that same mindset.
Jalen, I know you're a very emotional player, but when you get overboard, who's that one guy on the team that can kind of pull you to the side and calm you down and get you back focused?
AD, for sure. AD, I got a big brother. Shout out to my big brother back home if you watch. But AD is like a big brother out here on this field to me, in a lot of ways. And a lot of the ways are honestly just the way he goes about his business.
Yeah.
You don't even really got to say much. But at times, AD can come holler at me. And, you know, I'm a respect that. That's walking Hall of Fame.
He's inspiring,
right,
isn't he?
Yeah, inspiring. And I don't even know if inspiring is the right word. He different. He's special, man. God bless him.
You mentioned your brother back home. You're a father now, too. How has
yeah.
fatherhood
Congratulations,
changed your perspective?
Bro. Man, I love my daughters. You know what I mean? I got 3 beautiful daughters.
Yeah.
They so amazing. They love each other. I love their love. A daughter and father love is different. It's totally different. Obviously, I want a son one day.
What's it
so
like? What's it like?
Man, it brings me like a peace.
Yeah.
It brings me a patience in my life that I desperately needed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so much fun. You know, sometimes I still get a little rough with them, but most of the time I got to go home and have tea parties and play in their little Barbie doll houses and stuff. It's a different aspect that people don't get to see, but I love every minute of it. Like, look at her. She's so beautiful,
Oh,
right?
she is beautiful.
That's my
Thank God she looked like her mom.
Oh, yeah, for sure. for sure. She's so beautiful, though. All of my daughters, so beautiful.
It was always amazing to me that the NFL wasn't in L.A. So take us behind the curtain. What is it like with the NFL being on the premier team really right now in the city of Los Angeles?
Yeah, honestly, when you think of LA and LA sports, you think of like champions and historic teams and franchises. So, you know, I wasn't here when they came back to LA from the beginning. I was in Jacksonville, but being able to come out here, it was so kind of rejuvenating to my career and just my energy and my soul. And it's been great. It's been everything that I hoped it would be and dreamed it would be.
Football is football, but something special about playing on Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel when you get a chance to play in front of the world and everybody's watching?
Sunday night, packed crowd here, no millions watching on TV. It's the greatest feeling ever. You want to go out there, you want to honor God, you want to let his light shine through you.
That's right.
You want to let all the people out there see who you really are, what you are capable of. Not only yourself, but your teammates too. And I feel like we did that tonight. You know, it's just week 1, so we got a lot of mistakes to correct. I ain't gonna say a lot, but we got some mistakes to correct and some things to clean up. But man, it was a blessing to just be out here and come away with the win.
My last question.
Yeah.
Do you guys talk about Super Bowl? Because most teams, it's kind of taboo.
Of course
But do you feel like you can reach the Super Bowl now that you have this quarterback?
Of course, that's always the goal. And of course, if you got big dreams and you got big goals, you're going to talk about it sometimes. You're going to bring it up. That's always what we're pushing for. When things get tough, maybe when practice gets hard, out here and during the game it gets hard, we got to remember in the back of our minds what we're really doing is what we're doing it for each other. We're doing it to reach a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. So we got all the players, we got all the pieces here. We just got to continue to put it together, continue growing. But yeah, we talk about it here and there. We don't try to harp on it because, you know, we got to go week by week.
That's right.
You can't win the Super Bowl today in September, October, November. You can't win it right now. So it's a long play, but, you know, everything that we're doing right now is taking steps to be there at the end of the time.
Man, nothing but admiration for you,
I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All the best to you.
I remember the last time we were selling houses
We were
in
selling
Jacksonville,
houses in
Florida.
Jacksonville, right?
That's exactly right, man. You seem great mentally, physically. Your game seems awesome.
No doubt.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank y'all, man.
And he's a safety. I don't care what they say. He is safety.
Hey, I'm a DB. Just throw it out.
That's right, homie.
He's a football player.
That's right.
That's what he is, a
believe.
pure
appreciate
football
y'all.
player.
Thank you,
Really
man.
appreciate you,
All
man.
the best to you, brother.
We'll send it back into Chris Sims and what he saw on the quarterback in Matthew Stafford.
Well, hey, guys, I mean, you saw it. You were there in person. Matthew Stafford was impressive today. He opens up the offense for the Los Angeles Rams. It's a run-first offense. But even when the run game's not working, the play-action pass still had great effectiveness. Here, it's easy. It's a play-action pass screen. No problem. But Stafford on the run, very accurate right there over the dropping linebacker, puts the ball on the money on a third down. Here, of course, a play-action pass, working the pocket, finds the tight end Hunter Henry, Tyler Higbee up the sideline there. But that was the biggest thing. McVay is always looking for ways to stress defenses out with a play-action pass. This right here is the perfect play call against the perfect defense. The curl to the left to get the double team, and then there goes Cooper Kupp going down the middle of the field for Matthew Stafford. And Stafford As you've always known, KT or anybody out there, he has an unbelievable right arm. It's one of the better arms in the history of football. That's just the honest truth of it. And now with McVay and a support system, things he didn't have in Detroit, that's where I'm really excited about what we could see from the Rams this year.
I can't help but just be happy for Matthew Stafford. This second chapter that he's now created coming over to LA, he's putting the ball anywhere he wanted to, all over the field tonight. First impression with these fans, what will it last with them?
I was really, actually, you talking about Matthew Stafford?
Yes, sir.
I was really, first and foremost, we have to give credit to that offensive line. I thought that that offensive line was absolutely terrific tonight. They gave up 1 sack and gave Matthew Stafford an opportunity to spread the ball around. And that's what he does. I mean, he has so many weapons at his disposal, spreading the ball around. The one thing I am concerned about is the lack of a consistent run game, because everything can't, as you know, Chris, everything can't be on the quarterback. He's going to have to make sure that they implement that run game and see what happens. But I thought he was really good. I thought he controlled everything. You know, being able to throw the ball down the field and make big plays, come on, that opens up everything else underneath.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, Rodney, you're right. There was no run game tonight. Yeah, the Bears have been a tough matchup for them as far as running the ball over the last few years. They got a lot of big people up front, no doubt. I think the cool thing is, and you guys saw it in person, and I don't know, you tell me what Matthew Stafford's arm looked like in person. But regardless, the different thing about the Rams, I think, as we go forward this year, when they couldn't run the ball in the past, the offense fell flat. Now, we saw tonight, yeah, they couldn't run the ball, but that's not the only thing about this offense now with Matthew Stafford. He can bring a drop-back pass element to them that they did not have. And, of course, the big play ball is really going to scare defenses and help that run game find its footing here as we go without Cam Akers and company.
And, Chris, Stafford got the ball to everybody. It was just whoever he wanted to get it to, whenever he wanted to get it to him. Which of the playmakers caught your eye?
I would say Van Jefferson. The fact that he's the third wide receiver, second-year guy, just being able to make big plays on a stage like this and be able to haul in the ball and make those plays. I thought this young man was terrific. I know they brought in Deshaun Jackson. He's a guy that he's made a lot of big plays in his life, but he's always injured. So if you can get a young guy like a Van Jefferson to come in and just, you know, be able to make those contributions. And Tyler Higbee was another guy. Yeah. I mean, I think this tight end, he's very capable of catching 70 passes, 800 yards, 6 to 8 touchdowns.
Let's hear from the head coach. Here was Sean McVay on some of their great playmakers.
I'm more worried about, you know, being able to move the ball and score points. And so you do want to be cognizant of that. I think the best offenses have the ability to do both, but I think it was more a result of minimal plays, but also being able to, you know, run some things that we thought was the smartest way to be able to move the football against a really tough defense. They did a good job being able to be stout at the point of attack in some of the runs, and they were doing some things that kind of forced us to shift in the direction of throwing a little bit early on, and then I thought the balance got back to kind of what we want in that second half. But it was, you know, they're a tough defense. They've done a great job. They've got great personnel, and that's always a factor for us for sure.
Was it to see explosive plays in the first game?
Yeah, it was exactly what we had wanted, and it was from a bunch of different guys. You look at Van, you look at Cooper. Tyler Higbee has what I think was a 37-yard catch, you know, and then what an individual effort on the third down and long for Cooper when we throw him the little bubble screen. But Robert Woods made a lot of plays. I thought a lot of different guys made some great contributions, and we still have some things that we can improve on. But I was really pleased with the offensive line as well. To go against that defense, those guys, that personnel, when you're talking about Khalil Mack, Robert Quinn, got a ton of respect for Akeem Hicks. And so for those guys to come away with just that 1 sack when we were backed up is a real credit to them, and was very pleased with them as a whole.
Coach, can you talk about the
Well, there was already a ton of hype, Rod, on this new-look Rams team. Now that hype may just shoot through the roof here at SoFi Stadium. Let's flip it over to the Chicago Bears, though. 2 quarterbacks we saw tonight, Justin Fields, Andy Dalton. Where should that quarterback room go from here?
Andy Dalton is a solid player. I mean, he's a solid, whether he's a starting quarterback or if he's a backup, he's solid. But it's nothing special about him. And if the Bears not just want to get to the playoffs, if they want to go far in the playoffs, they need something special at the quarterback position. And I say Justin Fields. And you saw when he came in, he's not afraid. The stage isn't too big for him. He came in the first series, and he threw like an 8-yard out route. And then they took him back out of the game. So I don't agree with Matt Nagy. I think Andy Dalton is a solid quarterback, but if you really want to go to that next level, you need to put Justin Fields in and just give him this experience, give him that opportunity.
Chris Sims, where would you go with this quarterback room?
Listen, I'm Jack, I think you've heard me say this before. I'm a little bit like Rodney, or maybe even Coach Dungy, who talked about it in Football Night in America. I believe in Justin Fields as well. You know, again, we've seen this Bears offense with an Andy Dalton-type quarterback. 38 pass attempts tonight. 206 yards. That's just not going to scare defenses. There's no explosive element like Rodney's talking about or specialness that he can bring to the offense. And, you know, the one thing about Fields, of course, is, yeah, the lights aren't too bright for him, but he's got big playability, and you saw how the team got excited. Hey, Andy Dalton right here, yeah, he's going to do all the right things with the ball. We understand that. He understands how to run the offense. He's not going to make big mistakes. Okay, big whoopee. Who cares if Justin Fields comes in and makes a mistake here and there? He's also going to make 10 other plays that Andy Dalton won't be capable of making. I think that's what we're missing. And then, you know, we talk about, the Bears offensive line, and we don't want to put anybody. Well, listen, if you're playing defense against the Bears, you know where Andy Dalton's going to be. He's going to be 5 yards behind the center. You know, with Justin Fields, there's a million things you got to worry about. You got to worry about him keeping the ball in a quarterback design run, the read option, the RPOs, and then, of course, his ability to scramble and make plays like that. So I am one that thinks I'd rather see Justin Fields here sooner rather than later. And I don't know, hey, guys, did it jump out to you when Justin Fields scored that touchdown, just how excited the Bears sideline and team got when he ran in for that one rushing touchdown?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you this, Chris, the players aren't stupid. They know when they want a player and they feel like a player can make plays, they want that guy in. Of course, they're not going to go publicly and criticize their head coach, but at the end of the day, I'm concerned about this defense a little bit.
Is there anything to that patience as we check out some Justin Fields play from tonight? Is there anything to that patience in terms of just kind of getting his feet wet here, slowly easing him into the NFL life, or should they just go all in on Justin Fields?
I just tell you this. I don't know any other coach, general manager that can get away with what Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace got away with, picking Trubisky, blowing that, and coming back, signing Andy Dalton, giving him the job, and not playing Justin Fields. I just think it's absolutely crazy. And what are you trying to prove? Like, Justin Fields should be the starter. I don't know how tough it is. Like, how hard is it? How difficult is it? Because you promised a guy a job. I just don't like it. I don't think it's right.
Rod, flip it over to the Bears defensively. What is it going to take for them to get back to their feared ways on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, first they got to take care of their players. They got to take care of Akeem Hicks. He's unhappy that he doesn't have his contract. You look at a guy, they open up the checkbook for Khalil Mack. He's been good. He hasn't been great. And then Eddie Jackson, this is a kid that's making $13 million. He was a first-team All-Pro, and he gets beat on one of the first series plays for a touchdown. He doesn't even tag the guy. So I look at the new defense coordinator, Sean Desai, and I just think that, eventually he's going to have to make a move at a certain position.
We saw some Aaron Donald. We saw Donald in the backfield a bit. Khalil Mack, your take on his performance tonight, what'd you see?
Well, Khalil is a hard worker, and he's, pressures, and a lot of times you can't say, okay, well, he doesn't have 10 double-digit sacks. He's constantly in pressure, and all his teammates come out and they say, hey, this dude is a dog, he's tough, he's really the leader. But at the end of the day, you get paid $20 million a year to put up numbers. He's working hard, he just got to get to the quarterback.
How about Cole Kmet, this tight end? Because we had an eye on him. You're really thinking he needs some tight end presence. He was at the University of Notre Dame.
Let me tell you something. I looked at this dude. He is huge. He can run, but he's timid.
He is.
Man, he's a big dude. Like, you should be running those little DBs over. I think the more reps he gets, and they're trying to feed him. They want to feed him. And matter of fact, it was a 4th down and 4, the one we just talked about with Jalen Ramsey. He was wide open, and Andy Dalton didn't trust him to throw him the ball. He just needs to play with a lot more confidence.
Coach Nagy, an offensive coach, and every year you're thinking at some point the offense has to explode, right? In his time with the Bears, the offense has to go do their thing. What's it going to take for their offense to finally go do the thing that he was brought here to do?
Well, maybe stop Matt Nagy from calling the plays. I think first and foremost. I mean, because this offense, he's supposed to be an offensive genius, and I don't see anything. I don't see anything that makes me say, Chris, I don't see anything that makes me say, wow, Matt Nagy is a great offensive play caller. He's really putting his guys in a position to have success, or he's really putting a lot of pressure on the defense. I don't know what it is. I mean, you play quarterback. What do you think about their offense,
No,
Chris?
I agree. You make a great point. There's no identity with the Bears offense. You watch the game sometimes and you go, I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to accomplish here or make the defense defend to then now they can play something off of that, whatever that is. We know, like McVay, they're going to run the ball, right? And they're going to run the ball, but then they're going to use the play action pass and the speed sweeps and then screens off of those play action fakes and everything like that. With the Chicago Bears, it's hard to tell. And then let alone the drop back pass offense. I think the thing that bothered me more than anything tonight was, listen, I know, the Rams are a talented defense, but you got to do something at some point to scare the Rams defense. Man, they got to play downhill in the secondary, the back seven, all game long. Every throw was a 5-yard throw into a tight window. And it's hard to play quarterback like that. It's hard to create big plays like that. And that's where I end up always going back to the Justin Fields conversation, just because I think, honestly, he gives them he's the greatest schematical advantage they have, just like we saw in the touchdown run. They don't have a guy like that. He's a special runner. So I don't know where this goes. I know the Bears fans in Chicago are going to be calling for Justin Fields. But, yeah, I worry about this Bears offense 100%. I'm with you, Rodney.
Well, let's take a second, Rod. Let's hear from Coach Nagy after the loss. Here's what he had to say.
The way you deployed Justin Fields tonight with that. As the game was unfolding, what ended up limiting him to 5 snaps, which is what I think it was.
Yeah, it was hard to tell if we knew exactly how many snaps he was going to get. But again, once you get behind like we did, and you get back a few scores, that's when you get more into the 2-minute mode. That's probably why there was a little bit less. But who knows? I think that for him, the times that he got in there, that he did well, and being his first game, and Andy did a good job too of helping extend some of those drives and us going through that whole deal of how it's going to go. But we'll continue to keep growing with that stuff and see what we want to do with that. But in the end, I thought, and again, I go back to that touchdown run. I mean, Justin did a great job, and then early in the game on the first throw too. So. The film, going back and just watching the film in general, regardless of Justin or Andy, just in general to see where we were. I thought we got the run game going pretty good, which was good. But we got to use this to grow, and we got to stay positive.
So there you heard from Coach. Let's get to this, because this is our friends at PointsBet, and they do the odds on when Justin Fields is going to make his first start. Rodney, there's odds on anything. You know what I'm saying? There's odds on anything.
Here we go.
These days. And so here are the odds. Take a look. You have week 2 plus 350. Week 3 at Cleveland. That's a tough defense. Plus 1,000. Week 4 versus Detroit. Plus 200. Is it over or under week 4? Before or after week 4? How do you see this board?
Knowing Chicago fans and knowing Cleveland, Cincinnati, Detroit, I would say by week 5, definitely by week 5, he should be playing.
Why week 5? Why wait that long?
I think, I think Matt Nagy started him. He's going to give him at least a month to see what happens. And then I look at the schedule and I see Cincinnati. I see Detroit.
Take it easy.
No, I mean, they won today. Nothing but respect. But I see those two teams and I say, hey, he's got a good chance.
Chris Sims, how are you seeing this board?
Okay, I see it going like two ways. Either like what Rodney first said, where they just wait for Detroit or Las Vegas, who I don't think will have a very good defense either, so then you can break them in there. But honestly, guys, I mean, as I look at it, I just go, I mean, if Andy Dalton doesn't look good the first 3 or 4 drives next week against the Bengals at home in Chicago, like, what do you think those fans are going to be doing? Like that, and then I know that's cold-blooded to do that to Andy Dalton against his ex-team. But, man, I just think there's going to be a lot of public pressure with the way the offense looked tonight. The biggest play of the game was a run on the first drive of the game by Montgomery. He threw probably the most crucial turnover of the night as they were down there in the red zone through the interception. So all the boo birds and media and everything like that is going to be stacked against Andy Dalton here. I'll have a hard time thinking the Bears can't kind of filter that out. And I would think if he struggles early on in this game, Andy Dalton that is, you're going to see Justin Fields. If not, then I don't think they'll do it against Cleveland, because Cleveland is the real deal. And then you'll see maybe it's going to be that Vegas, what was that other team that was there? Vegas or Detroit, one of those 2 games.
Chris, you read the full board. I like that. Only Chris Sims give us the full breakdown quite like that.
I see you, Chris.
Download the PointsBet app and get better odds, daily promotions, and betting options you won't find anywhere else. PointsBet, live your bet life. Live your best life, too, if you know what I'm saying. Let's get to some of the highlights. We will check in with the Football Night in America crew. Here is Mike Tirico.
What a fun Sunday #1 it was, of course, with Tony Dungy and Drew Brees. What was it like to not be part of the Saints or part of the Chargers, but part of watching every game in about a 6-hour stretch.
I'm rethinking how my basement is designed right now. I'm thinking I need more TVs, for sure.
It's a lot of fun to watch every play.
Yes, it is, absolutely.
As we're doing here with the best of. So let's get to some of the highlights from these terrific games. This was like Christmas. The schedule was so good. Tony, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo. Here's Josh Allen. He's got the big deal. There are big expectations coming in. Here's the opening kickoff of the game. And you want to talk about a great start. How about Isaiah McKenzie and special teams, 75 yards opening kickoff of the season.
And the Buffalo fans have to be going crazy. This is our year. We're going to go to the house for the touchdown right off the bat. Not quite.
No, it led to a field goal. That's fine. 3-0 momentum. Everybody's going. They're breaking tables in the parking lot. You got the deal. Steeler defense. Heard from T.J. Watt paid off. Sack, fumble, Cam Hayward gets it back for Pittsburgh.
And I know Mike Tomlin preached this all week. Effort, energy, that's how we're going to win that Steeler football.
Got the ball, didn't get the point. Still a 3-0 Bills lead just before half. Now he's getting hot. Allen to Gabe Davis for a touchdown.
We're used to seeing these wild plays from Josh Allen. And I said, when I saw this throw, I said, wow, how did he get that ball in there?
7 of 8 on the drive. Buffalo up 10-0. Bills Mafia is loving it. Now we're in the third quarter. Steelers didn't score in the first half. Ben Roethlisberger gets going. Chase Claypool.
Big target, big catch radius, and this play got them going.
He really makes game-changing plays for Pittsburgh. More of a factor in this offense. 3 catches, 45 yards, but he really gets this team energized. It led to a field goal. It was 10-3. I didn't like this play.
Way too cute, Sean McDermott. You got a big, powerful quarterback. You need 6 inches. Sneak it in there. Get the first down. Don't need that.
Here comes momentum. Steelers had a field goal. It's 10-6. Then they go to the run. Najee Harris, the first-round pick out of Alabama, wearing down Buffalo a little bit.
First half didn't get it going at all, but the run game got started in the second half.
And Ben drops a dime to the pylon. Deontay Johnson hurt in the first half. Juggles, strong finish on the grab and 2 toes down.
Great concentration.
So Pittsburgh back in the game. Now they take a lead 13-10. Next drive, blocked punt. Miles Killebrew gets in. Ulysses Gilbert takes it in. And the Steelers on top 20-10. Special teams mistakes week 1.
Yes, you see them. Guys aren't ready to go, haven't played on special teams in the preseason. Steelers use this to cement the lead.
Big rally, Steelers win. They'll host Vegas on Sunday. To Cleveland and Kansas City, Tony and Drew will watch this together. Baker Mayfield going back after the playoffs, trying to get some revenge. Get Jarvis Landry going here on the reverse.
Yes, Cleveland was dominant in the first half. Running plays didn't look like Kansas City could stop them. Mayfield was hot, no pressure on him. Jarvis Landry is playing with just so much energy.
And Nick Chubb with a touchdown run here.
Speak of running game that looks unstoppable.
You could drive a truck through that hole.
22-10. What a start by the Browns into the second half. And here's Mahomes and Kelsey.
He is his red zone target. If you don't double him in the red zone, he's going to score.
You know what? And we're going to be saying that all year.
That's right. Kareem Hunt pounds it back in, so the Browns are up 9, fourth quarter. 10 minutes left. Chiefs may be done. No. They've got Mahomes, and he's got Tyreek Hill.
And the most Mahomes-ish throw you'll ever see. Back across his body, the quarterback coach is yelling, "No!" And, of course, it's a completion to Tyreek Hill.
My question is, how is Tyreek Hill getting single coverage?
With the scramble, he buys time. DB,
when you
don't have your head around,
don't put your corner in this situation.
Right. They had a couple injuries at safety, one going into the game, one in the game with an ejection action, but this was the play, Tony. Yeah. The Scottish Hammer, the punter, Jamie Gillian, mishandles the snap. And the Chiefs get the ball back at the 15, and three plays later, they make them pay.
Short field for Mahomes. Drew, who's he going to?
the guy who nobody ever doubles and should.
He had 11 touchdowns last year, 2 today. Fourth quarter, Browns trying to mount a comeback. They're moving, but Mayfield scrambles, put one up for grabs. It is picked off there by Mike Hughes. Mahomes improves to 11-0 in September. Cleveland hasn't won a season opener since 2004. Arizona, Tennessee in Nashville. Chandler Jones made his mark early. Strip sacker Ryan Tannehill in the first quarter. Corey Peters takes it. He's going to be marked down at the 1. Jones was a star, and so was Kyler Murray. Drew, you could not get over how good Murray was all day long.
Murray was electric. Every chance he would get to get outside the pocket, find open receivers, make great throws like that.
Some guys are good at the back line. DeAndre Hopkins is just great.
He's going to pluck it and get both feet in every time.
Maybe the best in the league. It's 10-0 Arizona in the first quarter. I mentioned Tennessee, their offense, they struggle. Here's Tannehill again. It's Chandler Jones again. He had 3 first-quarter sacks.
Could we please help the left tackle some? After you get 3 or 4 sacks, maybe you could start double-teaming?
No. And more Hopkins to the end zone. And Arizona, all of a sudden, is up 17-0, a third of the way through this game. Murray's not done yet with his feet.
He takes 20 steps when everybody else takes about 5.
That's right. Murray, 11 rush touchdowns last year. Heaving it up here. Christian Kirk hauls it in for the touchdown.
This was really a great throw. Covers 0, and he lays it up there to where his receiver can run under it.
Can I go back to Jones, please? There's another sack. Taylor Lewan was out at this point. Taylor Lewan put up a tweet that he got his butt kicked today. And he said, thank you, Chandler Jones. You're going to make me work harder. I'll be better. Chandler Jones was the best. 5 sacks on the day to match Murray 5 total touchdowns, including that one to Christian Kirk. Their second connection.
Great throw by Kyler Murray. Back shoulder throw to Christian Kirk. That really put the nail in the coffin.
And here is sack number 5 for Jones. He's on pace for 17 times 5, 85 sacks on the season. Arizona, most impressive.
He might get him if they don't double team him.
He might. Oh, I didn't say he's from Syracuse. I'm sorry. Let's go to Jacksonville now. It's Green Bay and New Orleans, of course. It's New Orleans' home game move because of the hurricane. Aaron Rodgers didn't play in the preseason. Jameis Winston replaces what's-his-name as the Saints quarterback. Good start. Alvin Kamara, get him the ball.
That's another guy. When you're in the red zone, look for Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, as you know, 10-0 early on Saints. And Winston to Juwan Johnson.
Juwan Johnson converted from receiver to tight end, making an immediate impact.
Saints held the ball. What, they have 21 minutes time possession or so?
22 minutes in the first half. 100-degree heat there in Jacksonville. You talk about wearing a defense down. They did it.
They outrushed the Packers 140-12 in the first half. And then, Tony, let's flip it over to Aaron Rodgers. They got a field goal, maybe back in the game. Here, an interception in the red zone.
I'm not used to seeing these type of mistakes from Aaron Rodgers. He just looked disjointed, looking at the rush, not looking downfield. This is money in the bank usually to Davante Adams.
All right, so it's 17-3. I mentioned they couldn't get a run game going. You just felt frustration from Rodgers. You felt a lack of cohesion from the Packers. Maybe they can make a big play. We've seen Aaron do this 100 times. Just throw it up. Marquez Valdez, Scantling, no, not this time. Picked off by Marcus Williams. Rodgers, 2 picks today. Remember, all year last year, he had 5. They actually saw Jordan Love for the first time. The first-round pick from last year got in the game. Let's go back to the Saints, though. Chris Hogan on the other end of this Winston touchdown.
Everyone's seeing action for the New Orleans Saints. Chris Hogan, Juwan Johnson.
Get them all involved.
That's right.
Sean Payton goes on the road and gets a huge win, even though it was their home game. 5 touchdowns for Jameis Winston, 2 shy of the all-time record held by, not Archie Manning, by Drew Brees. Aaron Rodgers, no touchdowns, 2 picks. His coach, Matt LaFleur, said his team was embarrassed. Here's the Rodgers reply.
I mean, I'll let him use those words, and I'll use, it's just one game. You know, we played bad. I played bad. Offensively, we didn't execute very well. One game, we got 16 to go.
All right, so Aaron Rodgers was one of the 9 quarterbacks not to play at all in the preseason. We talked about this Thursday. Do you think there was rust that we saw from Rodgers on the field today?
I definitely saw rust. The timing wasn't there. I saw him do some uncharacteristic things, miss some throws. And the other thing that hurt him was no running game, so it was all on him. But they're not ready. They've got to go back to the drawing board and get going.
Give credit to the Saints defense. They got after him up front. They had a plan for Davante Adams. They really took away his weapons. But you could definitely tell that they look like a team that had no cohesion and really have a long way to go.
That's been part of the whole story, though, with them. This entire offseason. We always say, oh, yeah, there's offseason conversation, but we'll get on the field and be fine. Do you think that factored in here at all with the Packers play?
I do, absolutely. I think the drama from the offseason has taken its toll on the Packers right now. And will they figure it out, or how long will it take them to figure out? I don't know. It depends on the type of leadership they have in that locker room.
You mentioned the Saints, and we talk about Jameis having a little fun, of course, with Winston's success, having you here with us. But the guys who blocked for you and Jameis and Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara, the offensive line, they were really, really good on this opening Sunday.
They were absolutely dominant today, both in the run game and the pass game. We'll start with the run game here. Blowing holes wide open for guys like Alvin Kamara and Tony Jones Jr. The receivers blocking downfield. And then right here, look at the amount of time that Jameis has in the play-action game. Launches it down the field. Deontay Harris, who's going to be a playmaker for them this year for his 5th touchdown pass of the day. big day for those guys, but give credit to the offensive line. It all starts there.
Should we mention that the Saints got a big play out of the passing game or not? Let that go. You were with
we got big plays on screens.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were with Jameis and got to know him really well last year, obviously. What'd you see as he was coming in off the Tampa experience where he had the 30-touchdown, 30-pick season, as he really tried to, I guess, resurrect his career for the future?
Yeah, you know, it was humbling for him leaving Tampa, being in that situation where he was the first pick there, and after 5 years they basically said, hey, you know, you're not our guy. You know, that's a humbling experience for a guy, and yet he came to the New Orleans Saints ready to work, ready to learn, and every time I was in the facility last year, Jameis was there watching film. Jameis was in the weight room. Jameis was getting his shoulder worked on. Jameis was doing something to help him become a better quarterback and also endear himself to his teammates. Because I think he's the kind of guy who you just get the feeling that he really wants to be great at what he's doing. And he recognizes maybe the faults and what he needs to improve upon. And my hat's off to him, especially with, I think, the amount of pressure, you know, coming into this game and the expectation, and for him to deliver like he did, my hat's off to him.
And I think we have to remember in Tampa, he was the first pick in the draft for a reason, because the Bucs had the worst team.
Right.
And so you're there, and now you're feeling like you've got to do everything. You've got to win every game. I think right now he realizes, hey, I've got a very good offensive line. I've got some good backs. I've got a great defense. I don't have to make every single play every game. And it showed today. I thought he played really under control.
Tennessee didn't have the ideal buildup in the preseason. Maybe that contributes to some of their performance. However, Arizona kind of jumped off the TV to me today. What about for you, Tony?
I thought the Cardinals had the most impressive win of any game that we saw today. They were dominant offensively and defensively. Their weaponry just looked fast today. Not only their quarterback, but their skill position people, too. And then this, I don't even know how on defense, how do you practice against this group? You can't simulate this in practice. He's making plays all over the field. And then Isaiah Simmons is a guy I love. I thought he was going to be the ideal 2020 defender who can do everything. Passing game, blitz, sideline-to-sideline tackles. As a matter of fact, Dabo Swinney nicknamed him Hurricane Isaiah because he shows up everywhere unannounced, and he did that today.
It really an embarrassment of riches on offense, and you know who do you double? I mean, who do you cover? Who do you take away? Right? Where's the ball going? But I think what really impressed me was how well that defense played against a team you thought was going to be a dominant offensive line, a dominant run game, weapons in the passing game. They shut them down.
I was lucky enough to be asked by Peter King to write one of his guest Football Morning in America columns in July, and I said, give me the 12 games in the NFC West, because I think all 4 teams are going to be good. After watching Arizona and Stafford get off to the 2 big touchdown passes in the first 3 quarters to the Rams, and San Francisco and Seattle, I'm signing up for it. Yeah. The West is going to be terrific in the NFC.
Yes, it is.
Just part of what we get to watch, and we get to do it for 17 more Sundays in this 18-week season. Pretty good start to some of the big games on week 1, and good to share the highlights with you.
All right. Mike, thanks so much. Arizona certainly came out swinging today. I mean, what stood out to you about the performance, hearing what the guys just said?
Well, I think the versatility in offense, that's one thing with like Cliff Kingsbury. I just want to see the offense grow, have a few more answers and formations and shifts. But, you know, I'll echo what Drew Brees said. The defense is what really popped. I knew Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins can make plays, but if Chandler Jones can rush the passer like that, Isaiah Simmons and then Zaven Collins, both 6'3", 245, 250, can really run and are athletic. Budda Baker at safety. They got some playmakers that are going to be able to even help that offense out even more.
All right, we got some other playmakers we got to show you all about. The other highlights from the afternoon, San Francisco and Detroit. Jimmy Garoppolo getting the week 1 start over Trey Lance, and the 3rd overall pick in this year's draft out of North Dakota State. First quarter, we knew we would see both quarterbacks. We do. Niners on the doorstep. It's Lance at quarterback here. His first NFL pass goes to Trent Sherfield, who walks in for a 5-yard touchdown.
Yeah, great job by Shanahan. Everybody's expecting the quarterback run or some sort of run with Trey Lance in the game. What does he do? Play action pass, great route by Sherfield, and an easy first touchdown pass for Trey Lance.
And who's the first one to congratulate him?
Jimmy G. Yay, team. Here we go.
Next Niners possession, rookie running back Elijah Mitchell takes the pitch, and he's out. have it there. Mitchell with a 38-yard rushing touchdown.
Yes, I mean, again, Mitchell, great run by him, but the damn hole. I mean, Shanahan is just a run game genius, and then the Detroit Lions need to tackle a little bit better. And we're going to see a little
DB's
coaching
coach,
on that.
Aubrey Pleasant, not very pleasant with his words here on the sideline with Okudah. He's hearing it from him, didn't like the play.
He wants him to sell out. He wants to make a tackle there.
Jared Goff making his Lions debut, traded by the Rams in the offseason for Matthew Stafford and picks. 80 seconds to go in the half. Lions down 11, and he's intercepted by Dre Greenlaw.
Yeah, Strugglesville in the first half of the Lions offense. Nothing looked good. And, of course, Jared Goff there with pressure in his face and then doesn't quite move appropriately in the pocket. Man, hits his arm on the helmet. And then Dre Greenlaw. I mean, he's extremely athletic linebacker to go with Fred Warner over the middle for that San Francisco defense.
49ers ended with 31 points at the break, most points they've scored in the first half since 2008, and more to come. Garoppolo fires it up to Deebo Samuel with a catch on the sideline, and he turns on the Jets the other way.
Jets on the other, I mean, pressure on Garoppolo's face, just throws it up, lets his player make a play, and Deebo is just a baller. There's no other way to say it.
Garoppolo's longest career pass, by the way, 79 yards. Lions come back here. They look dead in the water. They start chipping away in the fourth quarter, Chris.
Here they go. I know. They found their mojo a little bit. The 49ers were kind of playing prevent defense, and then the Lions, 41-25, they get the onside kick, and you're going, oh, my gosh, are the 49ers really going to mess this up? And then here goes Jared Goff and company. Nice little throw here, a little back shoulder ball for a touchdown.
Yeah, big touchdown there, and the Detroit Lions appear to be coming back in this one, and Goff to Cephas again.
2-point conversion.
Hard to believe it's a one-score game.
Yeah, one-score game, and you're going, I mean, it was, what, 38-10 at one point in this football game? You really, the 49ers you thought could sleepwalk and win this one, but then we get the 3rd and 12 tap, and what a, gutsy play call by Shanahan. Deebo Samuel makes a great play to get the first down, but you got to watch the ball. And Trey Flowers does a great job of punching it out and giving the Lions one more chance.
Lions have it back now with a chance to tie it after this fumble, and Niners fans are getting nervous at this point. Ensuing drive, Jared Goff goes deep to Khalif Raymond, 25-yard gain for him.
Throw.
Lions driving again down to the 25. But 4th and 9, one last shot for Detroit here. Goff's pass falls in.
Come on, you got to do something there in that situation. 4th or 9, you got to throw it to somebody, throw a jump ball, and just, hope you get lucky.
49ers escape with a win in the opener. The rookie Zach Wilson making his NFL debut for the Jets.
It's Jets on Jets crime.
Right. Sam Darnold, also a former Jet for Carolina. Carolina going for it on 4th and 1 in the red zone, and
hit his fullback.
It.
Yeah, he hit his fullback as he was going back to give the ball to McCaffrey to get the short yardage there. And then there we have Zach Wilson making his first rookie mistake in the NFL. Looking off one way, doesn't see the coverage underneath from Shaq Thompson, who does a great job of just getting a hand on the ball and then, of course, getting the interception.
Yeah, rookie mistake by Wilson there later in the second quarter. The Jets are going for it here. Tevin Coleman is stuffed.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Turn it over on downs.
Yeah, Yetur Gross-Matos makes a great play coming off the edge. Carolina was controlling this game early on, and then, of course, this was a huge play.
Yeah, Darnold connects with his old friend and a former Jet, Robbie Anderson, 57-yard touchdown.
Yeah, this is they've been dreaming about this all week. I mean, Sam Darnold, revenge against these guys. When you get in the end zone, throw your jet wings up. Oh, okay. Yes, we'll taunt them a little bit, but great to see that for Sam Darnold. Really is.
Yeah, and great to see this as well right before the half. Darnold does it with his own legs. 5-yard touchdown. That'll be good.
This guy's got more talent than people want to give him credit for. He's not a bust. He was in a crap situation in New York for 3 years. So let's give him a chance here with Carolina, who's got some weapons around him.
Third quarter, it's Wilson escaping the pressure here. Rolls right, finds Corey Davis, and that's a 22-yard touchdown.
This is the thing that excites, I think, me and a lot of people who evaluated Zach Wilson in the draft. This is that Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes capabilities that Zach Wilson could bring to the table. He kind of got in a little flow here in the second half and made some really impressive plays.
First career NFL touchdown for Wilson. And then look at this. Jeff left tackle Mekhi Becton injured his knee on this play, did not return to the game, and that is a disappointment.
Yeah, the poor Jets. They've been ravaged by injury worse than any other team in football so far this year.
Jets go for 2. Wilson keeps it. 2-point conversion good. Jets cut it to 1 possession in this one. Late in the fourth quarter now. Jets down 11 trying to come back on 4th down. Wilson fires a laser to Braxton Berrios. That's good for a first down.
People all over his feet, too, off his back foot, Catherine. And then this right here. I mean, come on.
Huge.
Yes, right? I mean, that had vapor trails on it, step it up in the pocket, and the kid played tough all day.
Yeah.
I know the Jets, they didn't win, but everybody should be happy with the way Zach Wilson looked. Another laser for a touchdown.
Yeah, threading the needle there to Davis, the 8-yard touchdown. Jets going for 2 on this one, and Wilson's pass deflected at the line of scrimmage. It is no good. Jets trailing by 5.
Onside kick. They got to let it go 10 yards. And, of course, it's just not a good kick. And see ya. Good night. It's over because you know what time it is.
Panthers trying to close it out here. Christian McCaffrey, I mean, that's the guy you go to, right?
Yes,
18-yard gain. Longest run of the day as the Panthers hold on. McCaffrey, 30 touches, 187 total yards. Wilson and new head coach Robert Saleh lose in their debuts. First season opening win for Carolina since 2018. So take a look at this. Darnold versus Wilson. What stands out to you about these numbers?
Well,
impressive?
Yeah, no, both were impressive, really. You know, Darnold missed a few throws here and there, but for the most part, he found his groove and made a lot of big plays. Wilson, I'm just proud of. He got his butt whooped early on in this game. He took a lot of hits. They exposed the pass protection. He hung in there and bounced back, and we got to see his talent that I'm very excited to see as we go on through the season.
Well, here's what Sam Darnold had to say about facing his former team today.
Seeing them on the other side, that was a little different for me. But other than that, you know, once you throw that away and you kind of look at the scheme and, you know, our offense versus their defense, you know, you kind of forget about it in the middle of a game and while you're playing. So, you know, we tried to execute to the best of our ability, and that was it.
Jacksonville and Houston rookie Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer making their NFL debuts in Houston today. We jump right to the second quarter. Jags down by 14, and Lawrence finds Chris Manhertz for a 22-yard touchdown.
Ooh, and that hurts the Texans' defense, certainly. But, I mean, the big guy, Trevor Lawrence, you're not used to seeing him underneath center. 5-step drop, puts it on the money for the touchdown. The family's pumped.
Family loves it. First touchdown pass in the NFL after throwing 90 TDs over 3 seasons at Clemson and late in the second quarter. He's intercepted. Welcome to the NFL.
Yeah, that's right. It's not the ACC anymore. He'll get used to what he can get away with, but this was pretty clear and obvious. This is one he's going to look at himself and go, what the hell was I thinking when he watches film the next day? The corner got back from the get-go. He just got to throw the underneath route there and go to third down.
He had his ups and downs in his debut. As for Tyrod Taylor, started in his 4th different team today, and he lit it up. First start since suffering that punctured lung prior to week 2 of last season. He escapes pressure here. A nice play to Brandon Cooks, 52 yards. No big deal.
No big deal. No, I mean, Tyrod looked great today. And if Tyrod continues to be aggressive with his throws and his decision-making, man, he can be dangerous. So Houston really looked together on offense. He finds Danny Amendola for a short crosser here for a touchdown. All Houston Texans all game long today.
Turnovers, it's all me. 3 turnovers. Like you're not gonna win many games with 3 turnovers, especially when, you know, margin was -3 for us. So it's not good. Gave them one right in our, you know, backed up, threw one to them right before, you know, half, kind of right there. It was just not great. So a lot of things we got to do better, but like I said, you got to watch them and correct them and then move on.
Pair of Bama quarterbacks, Tua Tagovailoa and Mac Jones match up. First game to see 2 Bama quarterbacks pitted against each other since 1983 as Miami took on New England. Opening drive, Tagovailoa with a 3-yard rushing touchdown. Miami on the board.
Miami up 7-0. Tua's mobile. He can do that.
Then it's in the Jones finding Nelson Aguilar deep for a 25-yard gain.
Yeah, he was really good. For a rookie, the style of game they had to play, a good Dolphins defense. Brian Flores knows the Patriots offense because he used to coach there. You know, I really thought Mac Jones was impressive all day, but this guy was really impressive. Jalen Waddle, watch out. He's the new go-to guy for Tua in this Dolphins offense.
And Tua looked pretty darn good in this game early on, Chris, and he continued it throughout the game as well.
He did. Tua's very good in the pocket and then gives his guys a chance. Devontae Parker is another guy to watch out. If he stays healthy, Tua will have some weapons to throw to between Waddle here again for the touchdown, Gesicki at the tight end position, but a good start for this Miami offense.
First touchdown of Waddle's NFL career. Dolphins back up by 7.
Oh, no.
Now Dolphins up by 1.
Don't do it.
He's scrambling. Pass intended for Albert Wilson. That's not going to work. Intercepted by Jonathan Jones.
The rookie, Mac Jones, is supposed to make that mistake, not Tua in the second year. You know, I don't know if he was trying to throw this away and didn't get it there. Either way, that's a bad play by Tua, and unfortunately for him, he gets lucky with this.
Yeah, pass deep in Miami territory, and Damian Harris fumbled. Howard made a huge play here, giving Miami the ball up with just 3 minutes to go.
Yeah,
Miami
that closed it out.
After that first touchdown, your teammates were trying to give you the ball. Why wouldn't you take it?
Because, I mean, that doesn't really matter. It was, you know, one touchdown. We got to score more. But it's not like the game was over right there. But, I mean, we got to do better in the red zone and get more touchdowns, and we will.
Welcome to the New England media. Mac Jones dealing with the hard-pressed questions after the game. What did you think of his performance?
I liked it. I mean, first off, he's already, like, bought into the Bill Belichick media press conference. Like, he's not going to give you anything, that's for sure. But I think what we saw in the preseason is, again, what we saw from Mac Jones, a guy that's pretty polished, understands the big picture of the game, and then just makes a lot of the appropriate throws and moves in the pocket. This was not easy today. The Dolphins' defense made a lot of good quarterbacks look like fools last year. They got good corners, pretty good up front, and like I said, they had knowledge of the scheme altogether because all the coaches down in Miami are from New England. But I thought all in all, it was a really good start, and of course, he gave them a chance to win the football game.
So many eyes on these rookie quarterbacks coming out of the preseason, coming into today's action. Let's talk about Zach Wilson, because you highlighted him a little bit in what you said after the highlights from that game with the Jets. But big picture, reason for hope here for the New York Jets?
I think so. I think goal number one is to be like, don't Joe Burrow Zach Wilson, which you just put too much of the game on his shoulders week after week after week, so then he gets hurt and hurts your franchise for years and years. So, you know, yes, if I'm a Jets fan, it wasn't pretty today, but I think the thing you could take away is going, man, we fought, we kind of hung in there, and our quarterback, even after taking a beating, he kind of bounced back and made some, again, jaw-dropping throws that we saw throughout the preseason that, to me, impressed me. Mac Jones probably played the cleanest game out of the rookies. Zach Wilson still made the most eye-popping plays out of the rookies. It's just going to be tougher sledding for him with the Jets team as compared to Mac Jones in New England.
All right, as for, we heard you guys talk earlier in the show, Justin Fields getting a little glimpse there in Chicago in that Bears loss to the Rams. Let's hear what he had to say afterwards.
I mean, it felt great, you know, finally getting out there, getting in some, I guess, real NFL action with the starters and stuff like that. But it wasn't weird at me running in and out just because, you know, this past week we were practicing some of that stuff, so I was used to it.
How do you stay engaged on the sideline when you're not in?
I'm sorry?
How do you stay engaged on the sideline when you're not?
Yeah, so earlier in the game, I was pretty much acting like I was in the game. So when Coach would say to play through the mic, I would just repeat it to myself and kind of act like I was saying it in the huddle. And that's pretty much how I was staying engaged and just making sure my legs were warmed up in case, you know, he called my package out there. So.
Justin, on the touchdown run, what's the key point there for you of knowing when to cut it up, and what did you see specifically on that?
You know, that's just a regular read option. So basically reading the end, he froze a little bit, and I thought I could beat him around the edge. So I just tried to just get the ball in end zone. So pretty simple play.
What was your expectation for the amount of snaps you might get in this game? Did it play out sort of how you thought, or did the game flow change?
I came in the game not expecting a certain amount of snaps. I was just ready to play whenever Coach called my name. So I wasn't expecting a certain amount of snaps at all.
That first throw, Matt was telling us was an RPO. What did you kind of see there?
Yeah, I just saw free access in the boundary with Jalen on Marquise, so I just took that little 5-yard speed up.
What do you gain out of 5 snaps in the first game?
You get a feel about the atmosphere, you know, see how fast those guys are coming, you know, kind of see, I guess, it's different behind the O-line and, you know, just the D-line and stuff like that. So it's different when you're actually on the field rather than being on the sideline. So you just kind of get that experience in there and, you know, just being out there, just kind of getting used to the speed and stuff. So, yeah.
Seems to be a significant surge in energy when you scored. Can you tell us what it felt like in that end zone with your teammates coming over and kind of with the moment?
I mean, yeah, it was awesome. Of course, first career touchdown, and, you know, I just wanted to celebrate with them. And, of course, you know, Cole and those guys were excited. We were just talking about that in the locker room. He almost ran me over, but, you know, I mean, we were all excited for sure, and I just celebrated with my teammates. So.
Keep the ball?
Did I kick the ball?
Did you keep the ball?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to keep the ball.